Blessed Ijavan, heart of love. Blessed love, everyone coming in. This is April E. Diggs, and this is Songs Lair, Health, Trichology, Beauty, up for King, up for. Bless up yourself. Okay. And I am a certified trichologist, a master cosmetologist of 20 plus years, specializing in holistic hair care, natural hair care, locks, okay? I help people to understand the connection between scalp, hair, nutrition, overall wellness, okay? Making that connection, okay? And I help persons experiencing scalp disorders, scalp diseases, hair loss, thinning, okay? And I help people to get healthier holistically, okay? And make the connection as to what's going on with the body and what's going on with the hair and scalp, okay? So bless up everyone coming in. Okay, in my lives, we are going to be discussing topics such as hair loss. Why is my hair falling out? The hair growth cycle. Okay? Early signs and symptoms of hair loss. Different types of alopecias. And what causes these thinning edges. Okay? We'll also discuss what is this scaly disorder on my scalp. Signs of scalp inflammation. Why do I keep having itching, inflamed, or painful or tender to the touch scalp? Okay, and we will also discuss how to keep your scalp healthy. Each person's scalp is not a one size fits all, just like each body is not a one size fits all. Everyone has different sensitivities, everyone has different bloodlines, so everyone is going to have different reasons why they're experiencing different disorders, okay? And this is what the trichologist will help you to understand. What is going on with my unique body that is causing this issue in my hair and scalp? Okay? In my lives, we will discuss things such as proper nutrition, foods that support healthy hair, protein and hair growth, iron deficiencies in hair, vitamins that actually matter, and hydration and hair health. Okay, also, as a master cosmetologist for the last 20 plus years, of course, we will be discussing locks, okay? As you can see, I have my natties that I've been growing for a very long time, okay? And I have also cultivated thousands of locks, healthy locks, okay? I help people to maintain their locks. I help people to achieve their locks. And I help people who are experiencing issues with their locks, okay? Healthy lock maintenance, common lock myths, why locks sometimes thin, and products that cause buildup, okay? And some common mistakes associated with locks. Okay. We also want to discuss natural hair, okay? Styling, mistakes, breakage, shedding, moisture versus protein, how often we should be cleansing, and choosing the right products for your unique hair and scalp. Okay, and then certainly because the hair is just an extension of the body, okay? So anytime we're experiencing any issues with the hair and scalp, we want to go to the source first, the source being the body. What is going on with the body? The hair is simply telling you something's going on with the body when you start to see issues showing up in your hair and scalp. So we don't want to ignore the body. A lot of times that's what's going on with hair care now. We're putting on band-aids and we're not really addressing what is the root cause and how is my health causing an issue that is showing up in my hair now. That's where a trichologist comes in. Okay, so you're no longer going in and just getting that hair loss covered up. Okay, you're no longer going in and continuing to get styles that cause traction. Okay, you're no longer going in and getting styles that are covering up your scalp so that you're not getting the vital nutrients that it needs from the environment. Okay, you're no longer ignoring your scalp. Okay, and not massaging it and cleaning it and giving it the therapy that it needs to heal. Okay, that's where a trichologist comes in so that you can start to rectify what's going on and improve your health. From that place, you will improve the quality of your hair and scalp. Okay. Again, my name is April Diggs. This is Songs Lair, Health, Trichology, Beauty. I am a master cosmetologist for the last 20 years, specializing in locks and natural hair care. I'm also a certified trichologist and naturopath consultant. Okay, so I work with people experiencing hair loss, thinning, scalp diseases, scalp disorders, and I also work with persons to help them improve their health holistically, which is the foundation for a beautiful, thriving hair. Okay? Okay, with that said, a lot of people are not familiar with what a cosmetologist is, okay? So a trichologist is someone who specializes in the hair and scalp, okay? As a trichologist, it is a prerequisite for us to have a cosmetology license, okay? That way we are very well versed in the areas of the hair and scalp. Okay, so there is a difference between a trichologist and a a skin doctor. It's slipping me. Dermatologist, sorry about that. So dermatologist specializes in the skin, okay, but a dermatologist does not have the training of a cosmetologist who knows the cross sections of the hair and scalp and all of the details tied in to the intricacy of hair. Okay, so a lot of times when you're experiencing scalp disorders, scalp diseases, any types of alopecias, the first place that you will go is to the dermatologist. Okay, but there is where there will be a limitation on the treatments because the dermatologist specializes in the skin only. Okay, our mission as trichologists, other than hair and scalp, align with holistic healing by way of proper nutrition. We do not diagnose, prescribe, or cure anyone. We believe the body is self-healing, and if not, it is due to deficiencies in nutrients or some toxin getting in the way. We simply monitor the body's systems and how the body's behaving and why it's behaving in this way. We then educate our clients with a wealth of information. Nutrition to the trichologist. Listen to this and listen to this clearly, okay? Nutrition to the trichologist is what modern drugs are to the conventional medicine, okay? Again, I'm going to say that. Nutrition to the trichologist is what drugs are to conventional medicine today, okay? So instead of coming into a trichologist and being administered some form of medication, we're going to monitor the body systems, see what's out of alignment, and nourish it and heal it by way of proper nutrition and herbal supplementation, plant-based supplementation, okay? So that is the difference, okay? Because the medications a lot of times are foreign to the body and toxic to the bloodstream, and they a lot of times will put a band-aid on whatever symptoms you may be having, but then in turn you will experience a whole heap of side effects, okay, because it is foreign to the body. So when you come into see a trichologist, we will always want to supplement you with proper nutrition and herbal supplementation coming from the plants, okay, which is very compatible to the human body, okay, with no adverse side effects, okay. Now, I'm not going to say there's not going to be any side effects, because anytime you start a healing regimen, there are shifts and adjustments that have to be made, and a lot of times it can be very uncomfortable, okay? But in the long run, you're going to be seeing a better overall health with the continued regimen, okay? Whereas with medications, over time, they will start to cause more adverse effects on the body. See? Okay, as trichologists, we concentrate on the health of the body and the health of the scalp. The body being the fundamental foundation for growing, thriving hair. A trichologist diagnosis is not a medical diagnosis. So when you come in and you have a scalp analysis and you have your exams done, this is not a medical diagnosis. However, from the exams, we will be able to determine what type of alopecia you're experiencing, what type of scalp disorder you're experiencing, okay? So it is a diagnostics to design a treatment plan based on the trichologist's expertise in scalp disorders, diseases, hair loss, and thinning. Okay. As a certified trichologist for the last 9 years, master licensed cosmetologist for the last 20 plus years, naturopath consultant for the last 7 years, specializing in natural hair, namely locks, okay? Why trichology? In my years of practice, I began to see so much people experiencing hair loss and thinning. It became regular and standard to see a client who was experiencing some form of dermatitis, some form of psoriasis. So it was very important to me to be effective in my practice, and I knew that I would have to find solutions and answers, okay, to why clients were experiencing some of these different issues, okay? I saw a lot of scalp disorders, thinning, and balding in my clients, and wanted to provide answers as well as effective remedies, therapies, and regimens to restore the health of my clients and the overall health and restoration of their hair and scalps. Okay? So that is why I'm currently developing a curriculum, the spiritual and holistic aspect of cultivating the crown and hair. Okay? We can see in our community that we are highly impacted from alopecias, from all forms of different scalp disorders, okay? So trichology is very, very important in our community, okay? It is very important that when clients come in and they sit in your chair as a practitioner, that you are able to afford them the education that they need in order to make a difference and make the shifts that they need, okay? Okay, it's very important that we are not just aesthetically helping our clients, but that we are helping our clients internally as well, okay? Because when we help each person to achieve a better health and a better quality of life, my motto that is, if it's healthy, it's always going to look good regardless, okay? So we need to take a lot of our focus off of just aesthetics, okay? And putting on all these false hairs and all these very harsh hair practices, okay? And be able to give our clients the information that they need so that they can become healthier and look good from that place of health, okay? Some of the questions that the trichologist will ask you when you come in for consultation. What products are you currently using? How long have you noticed thinning and receding and spots in your scalp? Does your father's side have thinning and balding? Do you work out? How often? How extreme? Are you currently on any medications? Do you have any underlying medical conditions? Do you suffer from depression? Are you currently taking antidepressants? What is your primary diet? What is your water intake? What is your daily water intake, rather? Do you suffer from insomnia? If so, how long? These are very important questions. So I hope that you will ask yourself these questions, because all of these questions help to solve the puzzle of what may be going on with your hair. Okay, so in my live, we're going to discuss different topics, like I just did say earlier. Today, we're going to be discussing the nervous system. Why did I pick the nervous system? Because in my years of practice, I see it is the most thing that is impacting my clients' hair and scalp. Okay, imbalanced nervous system. And it makes sense, doesn't it? We live in such a stressful world. So how do we keep our nervous systems balanced in such a stressful environment? Okay, so let's keep moving forward. Okay, and bless up everyone who's currently coming in. Okay, this is Songs Lair, Health, Trichology, Beauty. My name is April E. Diggs. Okay, I'm a certified trichologist, naturopath consultant, master cosmetologist, specializing in the areas of natural hair and locks. Okay, I help people who are experiencing hair loss, thinning, scalp disorders, and scalp diseases, different forms of hair loss, different alopecias. Okay, and I work with persons holistically to help them make the connection between their body and their hair and their health. Okay. Okay, so I want to welcome everyone here. This is Crown Conversations with Songs Lair. And today we're going to be speaking about the nervous system. Okay, I did want to speak about the nervous system today. Why? Because it is the most number one thing impacting clients. Dysregulated, imbalanced, impacted nervous systems. Okay, because due to the high levels of stress coming from so many different areas in the world that we currently live in, okay? And this is taking a toll on one's hair, okay? So again, welcome. This is Crown Conversations, and we will be discussing different topics as it pertains to health and your hair. My name is April E. Diggs, okay? Bless up everyone who's currently here. Okay, let's talk about it. How does the nervous system impact hair loss and scalp disorders? Okay, I just want to also give a disclaimer right now. This presentation is for educational purposes, okay, only, and is not meant to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases. Okay, so I just want to go ahead and say that again. This presentation is for educational purposes, okay, only, and is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases. Okay, so that I hope that you will find the information educational, and just know that anytime you come in to see a trichologist, we will always supply you with a wealth of knowledge, okay, so that you can be educated on your unique body, so that you can start to make the shifts that you need to make, coming from a place of being informed, okay? Because a lot of times we just don't know what's going on, and we keep doing things to cover up the issues, okay? And we keep using different products, but we're not getting any relief, because we always need to get to the root and the source of whatever is going on, okay? Okay, again, welcome. My name is April E. Diggs. I'm a master cosmetologist of 20 plus years, certified trichologist specializing in the areas of hair loss, thinning, scalp disorders, and scalp diseases. I'm also a certified naturopath consultant, meaning that I help people with proper nutrition and herbal supplementation to restore and heal their body systems. Okay, today we're discussing a topic that many people overlook: the connection between the nervous system, stress, and scalp disorders. Again, today we are discussing a topic that many people overlook: the connection between the nervous system, stress, hair loss, and scalp disorders. The connection, okay? If you ever notice more shedding during stressful times, okay? A lot of people don't make that connection, okay? Let's get into what is the nervous system. The nervous system is the body's communication network. It includes the brain, the spinal cord, the nerves throughout the entire body. It controls stress responses, hormones, blood circulation, sleep, healing, inflammation. The hair follicles receive signals through this communication. Healthy hair begins with a healthy body. Okay, let's rewind that real quick because that was a lot just there, okay? The nervous system is the body's communication network, okay? So that means all of the nerves and ventricles, every passageway that moves through your body, the nervous system is inclusive of your brain, your spinal cord, and all of the passageways throughout the entire body. It is single-handedly in control of stress response, hormones, circulation, healing, sleep, and inflammation. Okay, so from that information, we know that the nervous system is a great regulator of so many body systems that are so very important. So this is why I chose to discuss nervous system as a topic today, because we can see if we have an impacted or imbalanced nervous system, our hormones, our blood circulation, our sleep, inflammation, all of these things are going to be impacted, okay? Again, the hair follicles receive signals from the body's way of communication. So by way of the nervous system, the hair follicles receive the signals that they need. So if we have an imbalanced nervous system, impacted nervous system, then that means that our hair follicles are not going to receive the proper information, okay? And that means that our hair follicles will be impacted. Hair follicles impacted, in essence, the hair fiber will be impacted, okay? How does stress affect the nervous system? When we experience stress, our body activates the fight or flight response. This causes stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline to increase. When stress continues for long periods, the body begins prioritizing survival over non-essential functions, including hair growth. Hair follicles may shift from the growing phase into the resting phase earlier than normal. Okay. So let's unpack that real quick. When the body is under stress, this increases adrenaline and cortisol. Over prolonged periods of time, this will impact non-essential functions. Non-essential functions. What would you say a non-essential function is on the body? If the body is going under duress and the body is impacted, what do you think is going to be on the totem pole to receive any nutrients? Your hair and your scalp. Okay? Let's look at this hair chart again. Here's the hair growth cycle here. Okay? This is catagen. This is when the hair is beginning to shed. This is telogen. This is when the hair is actually shedding. Okay? So what we just did read is that the hair follicles may shift from the growing phase into the resting phase earlier than normal. Okay? So this is the telogen phase. Okay? So when the nervous system is impacted, then we go from anagen, which is the growing phase, into our resting phase, which is telogen, prematurely. Okay? If that makes sense. Okay? So an impacted nervous system will cause the body to shift the hair cycle, okay, and go into your resting phase prematurely or longer than it needs to be, okay? Telogen effluvium. This is what this condition is called, okay? When the hair is pushed into the resting phase prematurely or overextended, okay? Okay. This common type of hair shedding is called telogen effluvium. This occurs when large numbers of the hair enter the resting phase at the same time. Hair shedding usually appears 2 to 3 months after the stressful event. Okay, some examples of stressful events include illness, surgery, divorce, financial hardships, emotional trauma, sleep deprivation, major life changes. Many people think the stress they're experiencing today is causing today's hair loss, when the shedding may actually be a delayed response. Okay. So again, just to reiterate what I just did read, okay? A lot of times when the body's nervous system is impacted, it will cause the hair to go into the telogen phase, which is the resting phase, okay? And this resting phase can cause hair shedding for a prolonged time, okay? And this is where we start to experiencing hair loss and hair thinning, okay? This all stems from an imbalanced, impacted nervous system, okay? Before we go into how stress can impact the scalp, let's read from, this is my Trichology Bible, Understanding Scalp Disorders and Diseases, okay? This is my Trichology Bible here. And we're going to go into the section on the nervous system, okay? This is so very important that we educate clients on their body so that they can make the connection. Once you understand what's going on internally, it helps to better equip you for the solutions. Okay? Let's see, where are we starting here? The brain and the nervous system. Okay? So we're going to read this so we can better understand this body system and how it impacts the hair and the scalp, the nervous system. Okay? The brain and the nervous system. Together, the brain and the nervous system are responsible for processing and storing information, thinking, sleeping, perceiving pain, breathing, contracting muscles, glandular secretions, maintaining body temperature, and more. In short, they provide a vital communication link between our internal and external worlds. Again, let me say that again, okay? That's a profound point. In short, they provide a vital communication link between our internal and external worlds. This happens because the sensory organs of the nervous system receive external information and relay it to the brain. This happens because the sensory organs of the nervous system receive external information and relay it to the brain. There it is sorted, prioritized, and passed to organs, tissues, and cells so that they can adapt to changes in both environments. Okay? Let me say that again. There it is sorted, prioritized, and passed to organs, tissues, and cells so that they can adapt to changes in both environments. The nervous system has two parts, the central and the peripheral systems. The central system consists of the brain and the spinal cord, both made up of nerve fibers. The peripheral system is the network of nerves located throughout the body. Okay, so let's go ahead and repeat that, okay? The central nervous system consists of the brain and the spinal cord. Okay, that is the central nervous system, the brain and the spinal cord, okay? The nervous system has two parts, the central nervous system and the peripheral. So we know that the brain and the spinal cord are the central. Okay? The peripheral system is the network of nerves located throughout the entire body. Okay? Central here, peripheral extending and branching out throughout the entire body. Two cross sections of the nervous system. The brain and the spinal cord being the center base. Okay? The brain has three main parts. Okay, cerebrum, cerebellum, and the brain stem. So the brain is comprised of three main parts: the cerebrum, the cerebellum, and the brain stem. Okay. The cerebrum receives information thinks about it, processes it, and then sends it out. The cerebellum is essential for balance and coordination. Okay? So again, the cerebrum receives information, it thinks, it processes, it sends it out. The cerebellum part of the brain is responsible for your balance, okay? And coordination, okay? All of this, when all these movements that I'm doing right now, this is my cerebellum working, okay? Cerebellum, okay? And just as I'm speaking to you, as I'm taking in the information and giving you, that's my cerebrum working right now, okay? The brain stem connects the cerebrum to the spinal cord, okay, and is responsible for regulating such functions as respiration, heart rate, blood flow, eye movements, and pupil size, and neck and head movement. Okay, that is the brain stem, which extends to the spinal cord, okay? Okay, and is responsible for eye movements, head and shoulder, when your pupils dilate, okay? And then your heart rate and your blood flow throughout your body, okay? That is the brain stem is responsible for that, okay? The peripheral system penetrates every tissue of the body, just as the circulatory system does. It is composed of 28 billion neurons. Okay, again, let me say that again. The peripheral system penetrates every tissue of the body. Okay? Just as the circulatory system does. It is composed of 28. No, I did not say 28,000. No, I did not say 28 million. I said 28 billion neurons, okay? By means of electrical impulses or signals to organs. Each person has 28 billion neurons firing off and triggering off from the brain center. What to do and how to regulate those different organs in the body system. When the impulses arrive at an end organ or effector, they cause activity. If the effector is a muscle, the activity is a contraction. But if it is a gland cluster connected with the digestive tract, the action is the release of digestive enzymes. Okay? So we can see here just from this that we've read how important the nervous system is at regulating the body. Okay? It is the powerhouse. Okay? When these signals go to the different organs, if it's a muscle, it contracts. If it has to do with the digestive area, it is digestive enzymes that are released. This is all by way of the signals that are transported from your nervous system. Okay? So we can see that if the nervous system is impacted, how heavily it will impact the body's functioning. Okay? The communication process and stress. One moment. Okay, give me just a moment. Let me light some more incense, okay? Because this is one thing that I do to keep my nervous system regulated. There's a number of different things that I do that I will discuss with you later on. But I love to burn incense, primarily lavender, okay? It's a very soothing, okay, aroma, and it helps the brain to feel very relaxed and tranquil, and then that communicates to the nervous system that everything is peaceful and well, okay? As you can see, the environment is very tranquil. Yes, we do live in a very stressful world, but we can make our environments peaceful, soothing, and healing, okay? As you can see, I have the ocean playing behind me, okay? The waves crashing, the ocean, all of these things help to balance the nervous system, okay? As you can see, I'm playing very beautiful, harmonious, mellow music that is very soothing, okay? So even though I live in a stressful world, I make sure that I keep my nervous system regulated, okay? By way of these different practices, okay? So let me light some more lavender incense, okay? And welcome in everyone. This is Songs Lair, Health, Trichology, Beauty. Hold on, people. I just had a little accident, okay? Give me 1 second to clear this. Okay. Got to be more careful. Okay, let's continue on. Okay, again, my name is April E. Diggs. Okay, this is Songs Lair, Health, Trichology, Beauty, where we focus on those 3 areas. Health, first, being the foundation of thriving, growing, healthy hair. Okay. Trichology, the study of the scalp disorders, scalp diseases, okay? Beauty, of course. As a master cosmetologist for the last 20 plus years, I specialize in the areas of improving and beautifying the hair, nails, and skin, okay? So we bring those things together here at Songs Lair, okay? So that we can focus on holistic wellness, holistic beauty, okay? All right, and our motto here at Songs Lair is be whole, be healed, be blessed, and be well. Okay, so that is what I wish for everyone. Okay, And today we're discussing the nervous system, okay? The nervous system greatly is a powerhouse that regulates so many different body systems, and it is single-handedly one of the main issues that I'm seeing in my years of practice that is impacting people's hairs and scalp, okay? So we want to address, how do we keep our nervous system balanced in such a stressful environment, okay? What are some of the practices that we can do to go to the root, one of these main root causes that we're experiencing in our community that is causing all of these different issues that are showing up in our hair and scalp, okay? So we're reading about the nervous system, okay? Because once you educate yourself and you know what's going on, you can start to make the mind-body connection, and you can start to make the shifts based upon the education that you have, because a lot of people just are not informed of how their body is connected to what's going on with their hair and what their hair is trying to tell them about their health, okay? So let's talk about the communication process and stress, okay? Because we did just previously cover the cerebrum, the cerebellum, and the brain stem, okay? The cerebrum regulating our thoughts, okay? A cerebellum regulating our coordination, okay, and movements, and then the stem of the brain connecting to the spinal cord and responsible for our heart beating and our circulation and the rotation of our head, and also our eye movements, and also pupil dilation, okay? So now let's talk about the communication process and stress. The nervous system communicates two basic types of messages. One is to activate, the other is to relax. Again, the nervous system communicates two basic messages. One is to activate and one is to relax. Okay? Some of its actions are automatic, i.e., heartbeat, breathing, and digestion. And some are voluntarily, such as, i.e., eating, drinking, and walking. Okay? So we have voluntarily and involuntarily. Involuntarily being heartbeat, breathing, and digestion. These are just normal things that the body, the human body does without us even really thinking about it. Even though we are thinking about it, we don't have to think about it because it's something that just normally happens. But then we have the involuntary processes, which is eating, drinking, and walking, okay? In addition to influencing the physical functions of the body, the nervous system also influences how it acts or reacts to stress. Again, in addition to influencing the physical functions of the body, the nervous system also influences how it acts or reacts to stress. The fight or flight response is a good example. This is hormonally stimulated state that prepares the body for an upcoming challenge. Okay? And I'm going to repeat some of these things because it's a lot of information to take in, okay? And repetition is very good so things can stick, okay? So this is hormonally stimulated state that prepares the body for an upcoming challenge, okay? So the nervous system tells the body how to react to oncoming stress, okay? So imagine if you have an impacted and non-supported nervous system in such a stressful environment and stressful world, what kind of toll do you think this will take on the body over time? Okay? Stress is a factor in every life, just like I did say previously. Okay? We cannot escape stress. Stress they all about. Okay? But we can manage it. Okay? Stress is a factor in every life, and the degree to which it affects us negatively is largely determined by how we react to stimuli around us. We need to supply the nervous system with good food so that our nerves can accurately communicate and handle the various stresses to which they are constantly exposed. That was such a powerful, powerful paragraph right there. Okay? And see, this is part of the practice as a trichologist, supplementing the body by way of proper nutrition. Okay? You will be so surprised how impacted the body is from not receiving the proper nutrition, what it needs to function on a daily basis properly. This over time will break down the body, okay? Improper nutrition. And as we can see from this paragraph, proper nutrition is fundamental in helping to balance and sustain that powerhouse of the body, which is the nervous system. Okay? Okay, I put this a little bit too close to me. Forgive me, people, because I have my products back here behind me, and my chair is too close, so I keep through my bumper big, so we keep bumping into. So give me just one moment again. Sorry for the technical difficulty and the interruption. Let me set up these products again. One moment. One moment here. Okay. All right, again. So let me just scoot up a little bit so that won't happen again. Let's do it like this. Let's see, get that and that. Let's see, there. Okay, very good. All right, let us continue. So we just did read in the previous paragraph how fundamental it is to have proper nutrition to sustain that nervous system that has to fire off all of those signals to all of the body systems, all of the body's organs, okay? 28 billion neurons firing off from the nervous system, okay? Wouldn't you think that type of powerhouse would need the proper nutrition in order to work properly? Make the connection. You see it? All right. It says we need to supply the nervous system with good food so that our nerves can accurately communicate and handle the various stresses to which they are constantly exposed. Okay? So previously I just did say we live in such a stressful world. There's no way to escape it or go around it. So why not fortify your system and equip your system the best that you can so that it is well equipped to deal with the constant various stresses that it's constantly exposed to. Even though everyday hassles may seem minor, researcher Dr. Richard Lazarus has found that in combination, they can have an even bigger impact on our health than traumatic events such as death, major illness, or financial difficulties. It seems our nervous system doesn't differentiate between a physical threat and an emotional one. Thus, crying children, a critical boss, unpaid bills, traffic jams, missed deadlines, and a host of other mental/emotional crises can be perceived by our nervous system as a form of danger, and may even evoke our fight or flight response. This defense mechanism can actually damage our health if it is evoked constantly and unnecessarily, and the energy released by it is not dispelled through fighting or fleeing. Profound. Okay? Here we see the nervous system does not differentiate between physical threat or an emotional one. So the smallest things such as traffic jams, babies crying, okay, traffic jams, critical bosses, unpaid bills, okay, it perceives all of this as danger. So in essence, what I'm saying is these are normal day-to-day things, and people deal with these things every day, and it's pretty much normalized. We do not see it as the nervous system sees it, okay? Because as humans, we adapt. We adapt to any environment we are in. But it does not mean that the body, because the body, it keeps a record, it keeps score. So whereas your spirit and your mental may get you through something, your body is definitely going to keep the score, okay? And so the nervous system, these daily stressors that we're encountering, that we've normalized, the nervous system doesn't see the difference between an oncoming 18-wheeler and that baby crying every day, and that hormone is getting released from the nervous system, because the nervous system doesn't know the difference. That's why it's so very important that we nourish and sustain our nervous systems, okay? Because these normalized things are causing havoc and causing a lot of health problems, because we just adjusted and adapted to them. But the nervous system, and like I just did say, the body keeps score, okay? So your body is absolutely feeling every day all of these things that it's being bombarded with, whereas we just feel like it's normal day to day, okay? So this is why it's so important, like I did say before, that we are focusing on ways that we can fortify and sustain our nervous system that is so has so much to do in our bodies, okay? Even though everyday hassles may seem minor, in combination, there's a bigger impact, such as death, major illness, or financial difficulty. So just like I did say, these little things, the nervous system sees them just as if big things are happening to it, okay? It releases the same chemicals, the same hormones, okay? And it feels as if it either needs to fight or flee, okay? Prolonged emotional stress can lead to a breakdown of health, okay? This sentence is so very important and dear to me because I work with a lot of women clients, and they're experiencing a lot of emotional duress for a prolonged amount of time. Chronic emotional duress, okay? Evidence shows that many of us may be handling stress well. In fact, has been estimated that 1/2 of those going to see a doctor have symptoms that can be traced to psychological stress. Of course, emotional stress is not the only factor involved in illness and disease, nor is it necessarily the primary cause. It is, however, one of the risk factors associated with poor health. Okay, so again, these are some things that we take for granted. We tend to step over. Okay, we do not make the connection on emotional stress and how it impacts the health over time. Okay, so this is saying that emotional stress is not the only factor involved in illness, nor is it necessarily the primary cause. It, however, is one of the risk factors associated with poor health. So we can see that this is the byway, okay, or the passageway to a bad health, okay? Prolonged emotional duress and stress, okay? Stress management. Psychologist Donald A. Tube-Singh related stress to the tension on a violin string. Let's think about that. The tension on a violin. Let's see, visualize a violin and the string, okay, and that tension, okay? He said, we need enough tension to make music, but not so much that it snaps. Okay, so that's a really, really good analogy or example. Okay, we want enough tension on that violin to strum it so that it's harmonious and it's strong and firm and it can push out the nice notes. Okay, but we don't want it so tight that if we strum it, it just breaks. Okay. Fortunately, stress can be managed and its effects reduced. Exercise, meditation, and relaxation techniques, attitude changes, and improved nutrition are some effective ways to handle it. Okay, so when you come in to see the trichologist, these are some of the things that we will discuss. Lifestyle shifts, okay, because there is a reason why you're experiencing disorders, and it's taken time for you to see this disorder show up. So we need to rewrite and make a new story by way of lifestyle shifts and incorporating new practices into our lifestyle, okay, so that we can create a new story. Okay. So we'll discuss things such as exercise, okay? An exercise regimen is so very important, okay? It's the only way that you can rid your body of stress, okay? Ridding your body of stress is helping to regulate your nervous system, okay? The body is a holistic unit. If anything is out of order, it throws every other body system out of order, okay? So it's very important that we get the body as balanced as possible to promote a healing environment, okay? Meditation is so very important. We know that all thoughts manifest. Everything that we think in here, so we think it, so we be it, okay? So it's very important that we get a hold on our mind and our thought forms, okay? So that we can manifest a different reality and correct whatever whatever conversations that we may be unknowingly having in our minds that are creating said conditions. Okay? Meditation, quieting, and stealing the mind. Okay? We're constantly bombarded with so much different signals. I don't know about you, but as soon as I open my eyes, I take time before I get out of my bed. You want to know why? Because I know as soon as my feet touch the ground, nothing but bare work. Okay? From the moment my feet touch the ground, me know lights, camera, action. Okay? So it's important to take time and to steal your mind, to clear your mind. Okay? All of this helps to regulate your nervous system. Okay? So that it can function better, and in essence, that powerhouse can help the entire body to function better. Okay? Relaxation techniques. Okay? We just did talk about previously breathing. Breathing is so very important for regulating the nervous system. Okay? And with us being under so much stress and duress all the time, we're tense. We're always, and a lot of times we're not breathing how we should fully. So a lot of times we have to take time during the day and just oxygenate your body. Take time and really breathe in and out deeply and regulate that nervous system. Okay? Attitude changes, like I just did say, after words of affirmation, changing your thought forms. Okay? Taking time to still your mind so that you can hear your thought forms. What am I saying to myself? How am I speaking to myself every day? Correcting, okay, your thought forms, because thoughts manifest. Okay? Okay? And how we think on things is we cannot have a positive outcome from a negative core. You understand? We cannot have a positive outcome from a negative core. Improving our nutrition. This alone helps the body to calm down and regulates the nervous system. When the body is properly nourished and supplied with what it needs, it creates an environment in the body that is very calm, and it helps the nervous system to feel regulated because it's nourished. Okay? When anything is not nourished, it's under duress, it's stress, it's not healthy, it's weak, it's brittle, it's not functioning properly. So proper nutrition is one of the best things that you can give to your nervous system, like I did say earlier, that shoots off 28 billion neurons through all the different organs in the body to help the body function. Okay? All of these things are different ways that you can support your nervous system. In a very stressful world, you can make your body de-stressed. You see it? Okay, let's keep reading. Stress can also increase the need for certain nutrients since it alters our metabolic process. For example, an increased metabolic rate means an increase in the burning of carbohydrates. When larger than normal amounts of carbohydrates are metabolized, the need for thiamine and other members of the B complex family may increase. Stress is closely related to nutrition. The fight or flight response increases the metabolic process, which in turn increases the need for certain vitamins, particularly the water-soluble vitamins that must be replenished on a daily basis. This is why the B complex and C vitamins are the core of all anti-stress vitamin supplements. Okay, so here we're seeing that the body under stress it's exacerbated, and it needs more nutrients when it's under duress. Okay, And here we are seeing that the B complex and the C vitamins are foundational in supporting the nervous system. Okay, B complex and vitamin C. Okay, those are foundational in supporting the nervous system. Okay, and there's also other adaptogenic herbs that also support the nervous system and nervines. Okay. But this is wonderful, wonderful information. And for anyone who is experiencing some issues with their nervous system or stress in general, okay, make sure that you're looking into your B complexes and your C vitamins, okay? Those can greatly help to support your system. The nervous system works electrochemically. Tiny impulses or currents pass along the fibers without the fiber moving, changing color or altering its appearance in any manner. The current is generated through millisecond exchanges. Millisecond, okay? So if we think of a second, one, that's a second. So think of a millisecond, okay? Milliseconds. This is how intelligent this body, this avatar is that we have, okay? So we take it for granted a lot of times, this body that is so intricately made. And while it is so intricately made, to whom much is given, much is required. So it is a lot required to keep this body healthy and functioning at its best, because we have been awarded with such a great mechanism, okay? But it is very intricate, and each person has their own unique makeup. So it's very important for us to learn our own unique makeup and find out what fuel we need to keep our body functioning at its best, okay? Only from this will we begin to see healthy, thriving hair. Only when we focus on the body first and correcting and restoring any imbalancing and nourishing and healing, okay? That is the only way that we can begin to start the process of healing our hair and scalps, okay? The current is generated through millisecond exchanges of charged potassium and sodium particles across nerve cell membranes. Okay? So that was excellent information about the nervous system, okay? And I hope that you did learn some things from there so that you can start to make that connection, and you can really see why this is one of the #1 reasons why we're experiencing hair loss and thinning in our community. 1 second. Okay, so those lights just went out. Okay, bless up everyone who's currently here with me. This is Songs Lair, Health, Trichology, Beauty. My name is April E. Diggs, okay? I am the practitioner here at Songs Lair, okay, where we focus on those 3 areas, okay? Health, okay, the foundation of healthy, thriving hair, which comes from our body internally, okay? Trichology, which is the study of the scalp diseases, scalp disorders, alopecias, hair loss, thinning, array of different disorders stemming from dermatitis to psoriasis, okay? And then, of course, beauty, okay? As a master cosmetologist for the last 20 plus years, I have specialized in the areas of natural hair care, primarily locks, okay? And I also am a product developer here. You will see the Return to Anagen product line, okay? There's 3 different formulas of oil: black aloe lock grooming gel, aloe hydrator, scalp detox, cellular scalp stimulator, and then I have a shea butter 2.0, which is a luminous blend, an infusion of shea butter and other cold pressed oils, okay? So this is an entire product line here, specially formulated for persons who are experiencing hair loss, thinning, scalp diseases, scalp disorders, and persons who have natural hair and locks, okay? We just did cover the nervous system, because the nervous system is one of the areas I've seen in my years of practice that is heavily impacting hair loss and thinning. Okay, so it's important for us to make the connection with our bodies as to why we're experiencing different issues with the hair. Okay. Everything does stem from our thought forms and our spirit, because nothing in life is living without the great animator of the spirit and the breath of life, okay? So our thought forms, true, we are in this human avatar, but our thought forms and the spirit is what really dictates the health of this avatar, okay? So that is comprised of many different things: our lifestyles, what we surround ourselves with, how we eat, okay? How we think, the things that we take in, okay? And thought forms are very important when it comes to our hair health, okay? I'm gonna read you this section here. This is another one of my tools that I use here, and as you can see, this book is well used, okay? It's well used. I probably should get a next copy, but so anyway, still, this is You Can Heal Your Life by author Louise L. Hayes. Okay? You Can Heal Your Life. This is such a wonderful book when I tell you, okay? Because it helps you to go inside to correct your thought forms so that you can have a different reality show up in your life, okay? A lot of us have not learned this. We are just products of our environment. We have been introduced to so much negativity and trauma without any other model in place, any other way to see things or think on things. So this is a powerful tool that has helped me and has helped many of my clients, and is one of my tools that I use in my consultation process. And again, this book is called You Can Heal Your Life by author Louise L. Hayes, okay? When we deal with issues as a trichologist in terms of hair loss, thinning, scalp disorders, and diseases, we are not going to just deal with the physical body itself. We have to deal with the body holistically. That means that we also have to deal with the spirit of things, okay? Which to me is the most important and foundational for all life, okay? So we're going to go here to this affirmation here, and this one is, one second, let me find it. Let's open this. Okay, so this one is Okay, so this one is baldness. Okay, we're going to read what this says. What are the thought forms that tie into and create the reality of baldness? Fear, tension, trying to control everything, not trusting the process of life. Again, what are the thought forms that tie into the reality of baldness? Fear, tension, trying to control everything, not trusting the process of life. How many people experience these thought forms? I myself have been guilty of this, and constantly I have to check myself, okay, to make sure that I am not trying to control everything, that I am not living in fear, that I am not carrying tension, that I am trusting the process of life. Okay, I constantly have to check my spirit to make sure that I am not thinking in these ways, okay? Because over time, this leads to this physical manifestation of hair loss and thinning and balding. Fear, tension, not trusting the process of life, wanting to control everything. And a lot of times that feeling of wanting to control everything is from fear, okay? And rightfully so, a lot of people would have these thought forms because we live in such a stressful world, and a lot of us have come from very traumatic upbringings. So we came in traumatically and never got a chance to breathe ever since. Okay, so it's a normal thing that we would want to have a sense of control, that we would feel fearful, that there would be tension. Okay, but this is why it's so very important that we do the inner work and we correct these thought forms, because over time these could lead to physical manifestations that we don't want. Okay, and we always have to remember, we are the creators of our reality. Just because we came in a certain way doesn't mean that that's the way that the script has to go. Okay, so when we're given the tools, we can start to auto-correct, okay, so that we can manifest different realities for ourselves. Okay, and we can be aware of how certain thought forms will cause certain realities that we do not want to show up in our lives. I feel like I should say amen. 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 That felt like an amen moment. All right. So here is it. What are the thought forms that combat baldness? What are the thought forms that shift the manifestation of baldness? I am safe. I love and approve of myself. I trust life. I am safe. I love and approve of myself. I trust life. See it there? Doesn't that feel good? Just when you make these shifts, you start to see the energy shift as well, okay? So just by uttering those words, we already calmed our nervous system. We communicated the proper information to create a healing environment, okay? I am safe. I love and approve of myself. I trust life. Okay? That takes a lot of tension off. Over time, when we keep this practice and we communicate to ourselves in this way, we are indeed creating the frequency of the vibration of the physical manifestation that we want to show up. Okay? Let's go to this next section in this wonderful book. Because everything has a spiritual meaning, okay? Everything. The head. The head represents us. It is what we show the world. It is how we are usually recognized. When something is wrong in the head area, it usually means we feel like something is very wrong with us. The hair. The hair represents strength. When we are tense and afraid, we often create those bands of steel that originate in the shoulder muscles and come up over the top of the head and sometimes down around the eyes. The hair shaft grows up through the hair follicles. When there is a lot of tension in the scalp, the hair shaft can be squeezed so tightly that the hair can no longer breathe and it dies and falls out. If this tension continues over time, the scalp is not, If this tension continues over time, the scalp is not relaxed, then the follicle remains so tight that the new hair cannot grow through, and that results in baldness. Okay? So let's read that again because that was a little rough. Okay? And I want to make sure everybody really just does hear that clearly. Okay? When we are tense and afraid, we often create those bands of steel that originate in the shoulder muscles and come up over the top of the head and sometimes even around the eyes. Okay, so when we're stressed, we're tense and we hold it in our shoulder blades and we hold it in our head, forehead, and even our eyes can feel strained when we're holding that stress. Okay. The hair shaft grows up through the hair follicle, okay? When there is a lot of tension in the scalp, when the scalp is tight, the hair follicle suffocates, okay? And it can't breathe. And over time, this can lead to hair loss, okay? So this is again another reason why it's so important to balance the nervous system, okay? Because stress and tension over time can suffocate your hair follicles and lead to baldness, okay? Female baldness has been on the increase ever since women have begun entering the business world. With all its tensions and frustrations, we are not so aware of baldness in women because women's wigs are so natural and attractive. Unfortunately, most men's toupees are still discernible at quite a distance. So what this is saying again is female baldness is on the rise. Okay? It's very prevalent. But true, we have so many different wigs and different things that we can put on that you're not able to see oftentimes. Okay, now they've gotten better with creating male toupees, okay, that are not so discernible. So they definitely have gotten better in that department in the hair industry. But still, these different methods are not helping the problem. They are an aesthetic band-aid. However, they are not helping the scalp to heal, and it is not helping the body to heal. Okay, so that's what we want to focus on. Okay, tension is not being strong. Tension is weakness. Being relaxed and centered and peaceful is really being strong and secure. It would be good for us to relax our bodies more. And many of us need to relax our scalps too. Try it now. Tell your scalp to relax and feel if there is a difference. If you notice that your scalp visibly relaxes, then I would suggest that you do this little exercise often. Okay? Again, we're reading out of the book You Can Heal Your Life by author Louise L. Hay. This is one of the tools that I do use in my Trichology consultations. Okay? We're reading about hair, the spirituality behind hair. Okay? And we see here that hair represents strength. Okay? And when we are tense and afraid, we often create invisible bands of steel that can come from this shoulder blade all the way up through our neck, to the back of our neck, all the way through our forehead, even our eyes, all the way across. A lot of us carry this invisible band of stress with us every day. Okay? Over time, that tension can suffocate the hair follicles and lead to hair loss. Okay? In this excerpt that we're reading, we're learning how being relaxed is a strength, and tension, a lot of time when we're tense, we feel like we're being strong, but it's actually weakening the body system, carrying that tension. So we always want to be in a relaxed state, okay? Because being relaxed is what actually promotes the healing and is a place of empowerment when we are relaxed, okay? Okay, this exercise is something that I also administer as part of treatment plans, okay? Because so many people carry so much stress every day, I do suggest that this practice is done throughout the day, and it's basically taking time to breathe out, breathe in, and then breathe out. Okay? And while we're doing this deep breathing, we are telling our scalp to relax. So we're mindfully telling the scalp to relax until we feel those invisible band of stress dissipate. Okay? And a lot of times the tension is here, right here in your forehead, and it makes your eyes very heavy. Or you can carry, a lot of people have it right here in the back of their neck, and we hold this constantly. A lot of people are right in here, that tension. Okay, all of that is sitting at the top of our hair. Over a long period of time, this causes a lot of issues in the scalp. Okay, so we want to, throughout the day, this is something that I prescribe to my clients as part of their treatment plan throughout the day. Breathe in, breathe out, and remind your scalp to relax. Okay? Remind your scalp to relax until you feel the stress dissipate. Okay? This is a wonderful practice to start to do throughout the day, because it really helps reset your nervous system, and it really translates to the brain that everything is safe, everything is good. You don't have to be tense. You don't have to push off the healing process. You're setting the tone for a healing environment in your body by doing this practice. Okay? Again, this book is Louise L. Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. It is one of the tools that I use in my Trichology practice. Okay? Let me get some more light here, because this light did go off. Okay, again, my name is April E. Diggs. I am the owner and founder here at Songs Lair Health, Trichology, Beauty, where we focus on those three areas. Health, I am a certified naturopath consultant, so I help people sustain their body by way of proper nutrition and herbal supplementation. Okay, I help to balance the body systems and help you to find out what are the reasons that are causing the hair loss, thinning, scalp diseases, and disorders. Okay, and help you to come up with a holistic treatment plan. Okay, and direct you in the right way to go as far as products and lifestyle changes that will get you on the road to recovery, relief, and answers. Okay. Trichology, okay? I am a certified trichologist. That means I specialize in the areas of hair loss, thinning, scalp diseases, and scalp disorders, okay? Also, beauty, of course, because we all want to look good. We all want to be beautiful and nice. Okay, even if we're experiencing scalp disease and disorders, our primary goal is we want to look good, and that's why my motto is always, if it's healthy, it's gonna look good. Okay, so we focus on health as the foundation, okay, and then beauty stemming from that. Okay, so as a master cosmetologist for the last 20 plus years, I've cultivated thousands of healthy locks. Okay, I help people to attain their locks, to keep their locks, and to get their locks back. Okay, also holistic hair care. Okay, all right, and I do a number of different things holistically. Henna, I make my own henna, which is a wonderful way to color the hair and is a wonderful treatment for the scalp and hair as well. And also I am the developer of the Return to Anagen product line. This is a product line that is specially formulated and developed for persons experiencing scalp diseases, scalp disorders, thinning, and hair loss. Okay, and also for persons who have natural hair and locks. Okay, 3 different formulas here. 3 different formulas in the oil formulas, okay, which is a blend of cold pressed oils, botanicals, food grade essential oils, and aloe. Okay, and then we have the hydrators here. We have a scalp detoxifier, and we also have a cellular scalp stimulator, okay, which helps with the growth process while you're sleeping at night. Okay, because that's the only time that the cells are able to regenerate, is when the body is resting and sleeping. That's why people who suffer from insomnia, a lot of times over time you will start to see thinning and hair loss, because their cells are not being able to regenerate how they need to, because the body is not resting how it needs to. Okay, so a lot of times the body is under a lot of duress, and the scalp and hair is going to be the last on the totem pole to receive any of the vital nutrients. Okay, so that's why I've developed this product here, which is the CSS, the cellular scalp stimulator. Okay, this is to be used at nighttime while you're sleeping. Okay, so that it can put all the vital nutrients in the scalp and help with the cellular process while you're sleeping. Because a lot of times, like I just did say, if you have any type of issues going on, your scalp is not going to necessarily get what it needs from the body. So I did create and develop that product as a support in that regard. Okay. So let's keep moving forward. We're talking about the nervous system today as it pertains to hair. Okay, and we're gonna go and look in another. One moment, I said I was gonna get this light. Let me get this light. Okay, so let us continue. Okay, and so we just did come out of this book, Louise L. Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. And we just did cover some thought forms that can create the reality of balding. And then we did discuss an exercise that can be done daily that helps to alleviate the tension that is stored up here from your shoulder blade to the back of your neck, to your neck, all the way up your forehead, even to your eyes, and then all the way across. This tension we can hold on a daily basis and not even be aware of it because we're so used to holding tension. Okay? But it's very important that we take away the tension, because this, like we did read in the passage, the tension is actually causing weakness and can suffocate the follicles over time. So this real strength is having a relaxed body that's as tenseless as possible, okay? And this is what facilitates the healing, okay? And so now we're going through one of the next tools that I do use in my practice in the consultation process. And give me one moment, I need to identify this. Now, this is going to be a little bit different from what we are previously speaking about, but just like I did say before, the body is a holistic unit, so everything usually ties into each other, okay? But this is another tool that I do use in my practice. As you can see, it's well worn. All of my books are well worn. Okay, so this is Sacred Woman, okay, by Queen Afua. A lot of you are familiar with her, okay? A wonderful, wonderful healer in our community, okay? And she's written many wonderful books that give us the valuable tools that we need, okay, for our healing, holistic healing, okay? So this is another one of the tools that I do use in my practice for my consultation process. And we just want to cover this. Let me see. 1 second. Let me see if I can get something to hold this. Let's see if we can show this like this. Okay, technical difficulties, just bear with me. It's a whole heap of different stuff you have to do to make these lives. Okay. Here is it. Let me see. Pull this like this. So this in the frame. And then let's pull you up some. And let's get this. Put this here. Put that there. Hold on, people. Hold on, me people. I'm saying me people. I doesn't know who's in here. I doesn't know what's going on. I'm on my laptop, so me never can see who's what's what. But I just know and trust that the right information gets to the right people, okay? Because everything is divine time, okay? And we move with Jah works. So whosoever is supposed to get this valuable information and whoever it assists, I pray that it reaches those people, okay? And that is of the greatest importance. Okay, so here we're going to see, we see this. Now this is a chart here, and this is showing the woman's womb, okay? Now this is a little off topic from what we were speaking about as far as the nervous system, but I just want to show you how some of these different things affect the body, okay? So it actually still ties into what we're speaking about, okay? And like I did say, this is one of the tools that I use in the Trichology consultation, as in respects to women, okay? And so that is why I'm sharing this here with you today. And then you can also make the connection with how this could also impact the nervous system, which is one of the number one reasons in our community for hair loss, thinning, and scalp disorders. Okay, so this is how to feed and grow a tumor or cyst and create heavy menstrual bleeding in the body, okay? So here is her womb. Foods that feed a tumor or cyst into the womb or breast of a woman. Okay. Beware of the war on the womb, okay? Now, when I'm sitting here speaking about the womb, and we were speaking about the nervous system previously, okay? All of this ties in because remember again, the nervous system The central and the peripheral all communicate to all organs in the body. But I want you to see, by way of the different thought forms and the different diets, how it affects a tumor or a cyst growing. And how do you think the tumor or the cyst began growing? Because every signal has to come from the nervous system. Okay? So how did it begin growing? What information was given to the body for it to start growing this mutation inside of it? Okay? So I want you to make the connection with what you put in your body as far as food consumption, as far as what you allow through your eye gates, what you allow through your ear gates, okay, and what you push out through your mouth gate. How this all ties in, okay, to the base powerhouse, which is the nervous system. Okay, so flesh, pork, beef, chicken, fish, cow or goat milk, cow or goat cheese, milk and sugar-based ice cream, eggs, devitalized starches, fried foods, acid sperm, produced by your mate if he eats the foods listed above. Bomba clot. See it there? And as you can see, I have this circle because I do a lot of consultations with women, okay? And women is having all kinds of different issues because women is the receivers. So acid sperm, it says, if your partner consumes these things. So a lot of times we have to watch our health as far as woman is concerned, because you can be so very healthy, but if your partner is not, you will take on exactly what he consumes. Okay? So this is very important. Okay? And this is causing a lot of illnesses and impacting a lot of women's nervous systems. Okay? Beware of the war on the womb. These are the thought forms: anger, worry, resentment, lack of forgiveness, lack of love, depression. The more you consume dead foods, the greater the emotional and physical imbalance. Powerful. The more you consume dead foods, the greater the emotional and physical imbalance. See it there? Okay. So we know that the consumption of these foods, and we know that having a partner who consumes these foods that we are intimate with, all of these things will affect our nervous system. Okay? And it specifically says the more we consume dead foods, the more we will experience these negative things. Okay? Depression, lack of love, lack of forgiveness, resentment, worry, anger. These foods set the environment for giving the signals to the nervous system that create these thought forms. Let's see how we can correct that. how to starve and release a tumor, assist in heavy menstrual bleeding. Foods that feed wellness into the womb or breasts of a woman and create a disease-free body temple. Okay? Again, this is a little off subject as what we were speaking about previously, which is the nervous system. But because the body is a holistic unit, this all ties in together. You see it? Okay? Now, these are the foods, again, that feed wellness into the womb and the breast of the woman that create a disease-free body temple. Okay, previously we did talk about proper nutrition, sustaining the nervous system, which does so much in the body, firing off 28 billion neurons daily to send the signals to the body, to all the different organs in the body to function. Okay, so the nervous system needs a foundation of proper nutrition. Okay, we just did see in this chart the types of foods that do not provide proper nutrition and do not create the right signals for the nervous system to make the organs function properly. Okay, so now we're going to see the foods that feed wellness into the womb or breast of a woman and create a disease-free body temple. Vegetarian proteins, nuts, seeds, beans, lentils, sprouts, spirulina, soy, nut or seed milk, green vegetable juices, calcium sources, fresh fruit juices, fresh vegetables and fruits, organic is best. Alkaline sperm, acid-free sperm. Feed your man pure foods as listed above for maximum vibration of your love. Natural food consumption creates a balanced ma'at consciousness. See it there? So when we speak of a balanced ma'at consciousness, this is speaking about a balanced nervous system. This is speaking about a balanced and regulated nervous system. Why is it able to be balanced? Because it's being nourished in the proper way. Once the nervous system is balanced and nourished in the proper way, that regulates our hormones, that regulates so many different body systems. One second. Okay. Again, the nervous system is in control of stress responses, hormones, blood circulation, sleep, healing, inflammation. Okay? So again, these foods, vegetarian proteins such as nuts, seeds, beans, lentils, sprouts, spirulina, soy, nut or seed milk, green vegetable juices, fresh fruit juices, fresh vegetables and fruits, alkaline sperm. Feed your man pure foods as listed above for maximum vibration of your love. So this is so very important for women as the receivers, that you do have a partner, that you make sure you're healthy and you feed him healthy as well, and you ensure of what goes into his body so that he can also have a balanced nervous system. He can also have the proper thought forms. Okay? Let's see here. Emotions and states and affirmations that feed wellness into the womb or breast of a woman and create a disease-free body temple. Okay, again, this is speaking about cysts, but it all ties in together because the cyst is created by way of an imbalanced nervous system triggering off the wrong signals to the hormones, to all of the body systems and organs. Okay? So that's why this is so important. Okay? We're speaking about the foods to consume to promote wellness and to nourish the nervous system so that it can regulate the body in the right way. Okay? Emotions and states and affirmations that feed wellness into the womb or breast of a woman and create a disease-free body temple. Affirm daily, I am joyful, I am loving, I am patient, I am peaceful, I am whole, I am a shining being. So you notice that we just did take a minute in time just to feel the resonance of those words. Words sound power. Okay? Every day we want to set this tone inside of our body by affirming and correcting our thought forms. Okay? And affirm because this is the reality that we want to show up in our life. Joy, love, patience, peace, wholeness, and being a shining being, a high self-esteem from doing the things that are good for you. Okay? You stand in a high self-esteem because you're nourishing your body, you're nourishing your nervous system in the right way. Okay? And that in fact does make you a shining being. I affirm on this day that I will no longer feel a tumor or cyst. Let me repeat that. I affirm on this day that I will no longer feed a tumor or cyst to my body temple. When we remember how powerful we are, we remember that our thought forms actually do manifest. When we take time to do the inner work, the healing work, okay, we can see the difference, okay? I affirm on this day that I will no longer feed my body temple flesh, cow, goat milk, cow or goat cheese, milk and sugar-based ice cream, eggs, devitalized starches, fried foods, acid sperm. I affirm I will no longer feed my tumor. I will no longer feed my nervous system. Okay? I will no longer feed these things to my body temple as a whole. I release and let go of all foods, emotions, and people that have a negative effect upon me, so that I may be free of the tumors that dwell within me. Okay? And again, this is separate from the nervous system, but it's also connected. You see it? Okay? So thought forms the signals that go to our nervous system, that signal to our organs and our hormones what to do, is by way of the material that we put into our bodies. What are we putting into our bodies? Okay? That's creating this reality or creating this reality. Beloved Creator, give me the strength to change so that I may be free of all that ails me. Powerful. Again, let me read that. Beloved Creator, give me the strength to change. Give me the strength to change so that I may be free of all that ails me. Okay? The reason why that's so important and fundamental, that prayer right there, is because it is what I face oftentimes when I'm consulting with clients. They've lived primarily their whole lives with unhealthy practices, aware of or not aware of, and change is very hard. For someone who consumes meat, for someone who consumes dairy, it can be very hard for them to make those shifts, to make those changes. Okay? But I always tell my clients it's mind over matter. If you want your healing bad enough, you will. Okay? But you have to affirm, you have to change your mind. Okay? And you have to be willing to. And so that is why it's so important, this prayer here. Let me read it again. Beloved Creator, give me the strength to change so that I may be free of all that ails me. So the trick is to not have a self-sabotaging and self-defeating mindset. The trick is to ask for the strength to change so that you can be rid of all that ails you. Okay? So we want to already be victorious. You know, the road to a better health, it's not an easy road depending on how far down the path of illness you've come. It's not an easy road, but it is possible for everyone. Okay? With the right tools and the right mentality. Okay? So even if things seem impossible to make those shifts and changes, with the right words of affirmation and thought forms, we can move and shift in that direction. Okay? So I want to encourage ones and ones, because a lot of times people put off the healing process because they know that it's going to require so many changes. It's going to require them to give up so many things and make so many sacrifices. Okay? And that can be overwhelming. And a lot of times it can seem impossible. Okay? And so that's why it's very important through the healing process that we focus on the right thought forms so that we can get to that finish line that we so want for ourselves. Okay? So this is another one of my powerful tools here. Queen Afua. Okay, sacred woman. And this one is just very exceptional. It's very exceptional. Okay. So this is one of the ones that I recommend definitely. Okay. And like I did say, it is one of the tools that I use in my consultation process. Okay, so we're going to take a small break, okay, because that was just a lot of reading, a lot of information. Again, my name is April E. Diggs. I am the owner and founder here at Lair Health Trichology Beauty, where we focus on those three areas. Health, okay? I'm a certified naturopath consultant for the last 7 years, helping people to supplement their health by way of proper nutrition and herbal supplementation, okay? I'm also a certified trichologist for the last 9 years, specializing in the areas of hair loss, thinning, scalp disorders, scalp diseases, okay? And focusing on holistic healing for these issues, okay? Also beauty, of course, okay? I'm a licensed master cosmetologist for the last 20 plus years. I've cultivated thousands of locks, healthy locks. I help people to attain their locks, keep their locks, and get their locks back. Okay, and also healthy holistic care for ones who have free hair, natural hair, which is free and not locked. I'm also a product developer. This is the product line here: return to anagen, return to vitality, return to the growth phase of the hair. Okay, these products support a healthy lifestyle regimen. Why do I say that? Because we cannot just think that we go and get a product and then story done. We cannot think that we have a good hairdresser that we go to see once a month, story done. No, what we do in between that time really determines the health of our bodies and the health of our hair. Okay, what are our daily regimens? What are we using on our hair? Okay, what are our hair care practices? Okay. So these products have been formulated and developed for persons who have scalp diseases and scalp disorders, also for persons who have locks and who have free natural hair. Okay. So a lot of times we're product junkies and we are purchasing product after product in those beauty supplies or whatsoever, okay? And they do not prove to be true in their efficacy, okay? So I have been a cosmetologist for the last 20 plus years. I've worked with an array of different hair textures, from straight to extremely curly on the scale, okay? And when we think of terms of straight, we think of Caucasian hair. And when we think of extremely curly, we would be speaking of African descendant hair, okay? So I work with that entire spectrum, okay? And that is why I've formulated a product line. There's 3 different formulas here: soothing scalp formula, hair growth assister, and deep moisture formula, okay? Scalp detoxifier, fresh follicles, okay? A water-based hydrator. The only way we can hydrate the water is by way of, the only way we can hydrate the hair is by way of water, okay? Water is the only molecule that penetrates the hair strand. So what I'm seeing more often than not is we're overly oiling and we're afraid of water. We're not shampooing our hair enough for whatever reason. A lot of times it's because we don't want to disturb the style that we have, which is not a good reason. Okay? Because when we wash the hair, we're not just washing it. We're not just shampooing it. We're also getting that moisture into it by dousing it with that water. So that hydrating, so we do that consistently. We build the moisture balance in our hair. So shampooing process is one of the most important parts of the hair care process. Okay? But like I did say, water is the only thing that can penetrate the hair fiber. Okay? So when we're afraid of water, we're not shampooing enough, we're not using water-based products, we're dehydrating our hair and we're blocking our hair from the vital hydration that it needs, okay? So that's why I have the aloe hydrator here. This is always going to be your groundation product. You're always going to hydrate first. You're going to hydrate first, and then you're going to seal in with your conditioning food, which is your oils. Okay? But we need to hydrate those fibers first. Okay? Because the oil does not penetrate into the fiber. The oil sits on top of the fiber. Water is the only thing that hydrates that fiber. Okay? So the aloe hydrator is here, very important. Okay? And then I have the CSS Cellular Scalp Stimulator. This product is formulated and designed to be used at nighttime when the body is resting and sleeping. This is the only time that the cells regenerate, when the body is resting and sleeping. Okay? But a lot of times we have all kinds of different issues going on where that scalp is just not getting the nutrients it needs. So that's why I developed the Cellular Scalp Stimulator. Okay? This has a blend of different food grade essential oils. Essential oils are the only oils that can penetrate the cell membrane. Okay? And you have to remember, the hair fiber is only cells that stack and push out past the epidermis layer. Okay? So inside of that dermis layer, we have the follicle, and then we have the keratinized protein cells stacking as the body sleeps and rests and the cells regenerate. Okay? And then it pushes past the epidermis, the skin surface. That's where you see this hair. But all the activity is going down here inside of the scalp, okay, in the subcutaneous tissues. Okay? So that is why I developed the Cellular Scalp Stimulator, because this product has an ingredient that allows it to go down past the epidermis layer. It actually pulls the nutrients down into the dermis layer to help where the derma papilla, where all the activity starts, stacking those cells. Okay? So it's got it it's formulated with minerals, omegas, okay, food grade oxygen, okay, because that's another issue. We're bombarded with this toxic air that has all kinds of micro things in the air that can stack in our follicles and start to cause obstructions. Okay, it's also starving our follicles of the necessary oxygen that they need to thrive. Okay, so there's also food grade oxygen in the CSS. Okay, ¿qué más? ¿Qué más? What else is missing? We've got some DHT blockers in there, okay, which is dihydrotestosterone, which stores in the sebaceous glands, the oil glands, which align each hair follicles. So if you are experiencing an issue with DHT, that means every time your natural oil secretes, that DHT is secreting as well. Over time, that's going to suffocate the hair follicle, causing thinning, and ultimately closing off the follicle, causing balding. Okay? So definitely have DHT blockers in there as well. Okay? And then the food grade oxygen minerals, and then we also have the food grade essential oils of rosemary, peppermint, spearmint, cedarwood. Let's see, am I missing anything else? Yeah. So the spearmint and the rosemary utilized together cause the blood to move straight to that area. So wherever you apply the CSS, the blood is going to instantly go to that area by way of the chemical reaction of the spearmint and the peppermint. Okay? Rosemary is very activating to the cells. Cedar wood is an aid in prevention of hair fall. Okay, it's also a DHT blocker, as well as the essential rosemary. Okay, and like I did say previously, essential oils are the only oil, the essences are the only oils that can penetrate the cell membrane. Okay, so we were speaking about water being the only thing that can penetrate the hair fiber. Essential oils, essences, are the only thing that can penetrate the cell membrane. Why is that important? Because the cells, the hair fiber is just stacked cells, keratinized cells. That's what creates the hair fiber, okay? So we always have to think down to the minutest detail, okay? What is the building blocks of the body? That's going to be the cells. So we always want to start on a cellular level with the healing process, okay? So that is why I developed the CSS cellular scalp stimulator, okay? Okay. Moving right along here. Let's see what else we have here. Okay. Okay, so let's briefly speak about how stress can impact the scalp, okay? So stress may contribute to increased inflammation, itching, burning sensations, increased scalp sensitivity, flaking, worsening of dandruff or seborrheic dermatitis in some people. Stress does not cause every scalp disorder, but it can make existing conditions worse. Okay, let's dissect this real quick. Stress may contribute to increased inflammation. Okay, so if the body is inflamed, the scalp is inflamed, when the body is under duress and stress, when the nervous system is in balance, this is going to exacerbate the inflammation. Stress doesn't make anything better. Stress causes everything to be amplified, okay? So whatever condition you may be having, we want to manage the stress, which is a silent killer. We want to manage the stress, okay? Because the stress is only going to exacerbate the situation or said condition, okay? Itching, okay? When clients come to me, the first thing they say in their problem area or their thinning area is they're experiencing itching, okay? And burning sensations. We'll group those together, okay? That's because that is your nervous system. Those are the incorrect signals triggering off from the nervous system, okay? You have nerves that align each follicle, okay? So when a particular area of the scalp is compromised, then you're going to experience the nervous system triggering off reactions, okay? That's where you're going to experience the itching and the burning, okay? That's your nervous system triggering off the nerves in your scalp in that compromised area, okay? So those are signals, okay, when you're experiencing that area of the scalp is actually under duress, okay? The burning and the itching. Increased scalp sensitivity, just like we did speak about previously. When we think in terms of a violin and we think of the strings on the violin, we just want enough tension where we can strum those strings and create a nice music. But if we put too much tension, then in fact it will break and pop, okay? So when the scalp is inflamed and the body is under a lot of stress and duress, The scalp can become tender to the touch, okay? Because the nervous system is under duress, and it makes everything tense, tight, and under duress, okay? And that can make the scalp very, very sensitive to the touch in certain areas, if not the entire scalp. This is when you will see conditions such as psoriasis and dermatitis flare up. A lot of times clients come in and they have had a flare up, okay? And this is what I will ask him, what has happened since I saw you last, okay? What events have transpired in your life since I did see you last, okay? And so this is gonna let me know what may have caused a flare up, okay? So stress and imbalanced nervous system, this is another reason why people who do have dermatitis and psoriasis, they really want to get their nervous systems regulated, okay? Because every time the nervous system is dysregulated, then we will start to see it show up on the scalp, okay? With these flaky conditions, okay? And this can make the dandruff and flaking worsen in persons who are experiencing these conditions, seborrheic dermatitis and psoriasis, okay? So I just want to stress to you that stress does not cause every scalp disorder. Okay, so that's what we need to understand. The stress itself is not causing every scalp disorder. Meanwhile it does cause some, it does not cause every scalp disorder. However, stress will in fact worsen whatever condition is actually there, okay? So that's why it's so important for us to balance the nervous system, because we do realize that things will only get heightened and worse with this not managed, okay? Let's make the whole body connection. Hair health is influenced by many factors, including nutrition, hormones, sleep, chronic stress, inflammation, medical conditions, genetics, medications, scalp health. Hair loss is often multifactorial, meaning several factors may contribute at the same time. Okay? Where did I put that? Well, let's just go here first. Okay, so nutrition. Okay. We did discuss previously how nutrition supports the nervous system and how the body needs good food, good nutrition in order to have a balanced nervous system, okay? Because the nervous system is responsible for so many things, okay? And 28 billion neurons triggered off daily to keep the organs functioning properly. In essence, to keep the body properly functioning. So this would, if we would just look at it, something that is required to put in so much work to sustain so much, wouldn't it need proper nutrition? Wouldn't it need a good foundation? Okay, so it's a great disservice to our nervous system to not nourish our bodies to the best of our abilities, okay? Because we're in fact setting ourselves up for failure when we do not have proper nutrition, okay? The body is not able to function off of fried food, processed foods, sugars, all of these things that are bombarding the body that are lack of nutrient, void of nutrients, and actually cause stress on the nervous system, because the body has to figure out what these foreign substances are, figure out how to digest them, and figure out what to do with them when they've actually presented no type of support to the body whatsoever. Okay. Okay, we did speak about hormones, okay? Hormone regulation. On the next live, we are going to solely be dedicated to hormones, okay? Because this is another very intricate system of the body that plays a huge part in in our hair growth and our scalp health, okay? So we're just gonna touch on it lightly today, but we will do a full presentation on another live on another day that strictly deals with hormones. Okay. And again, we just want to give thanks for these wonderful bodies that we've been given, because they are so intricate and so intelligent. Okay. But to whom much is given, much is required. So these bodies, it would behoove us to learn how to properly take care of our bodies, okay? And how they can function at their best while we are living, okay? Sleep, okay? We spoke about sleep earlier. We spoke about people who are experiencing conditions such as insomnia, okay? And over time, what this can do to hair loss and thinning and scalp disorders, because the only time that the hair is able to grow is when the cells regenerate. When are the cells able to regenerate? When the body's sleeping. So if we have insomnia, more often than not, you will see these persons have some type of scalp disorder and some form of thinning or hair loss, okay? Because their body is not able to regenerate the cells on a sleep cycle, okay? Sleep is fundamental. Nutrition, sleep, exercise, water intake. So many things play a part in keeping the body regulated so that we can produce healthy hairs and scalps, okay? Chronic stress, okay? We did speak about previously how we really can't escape stress, okay? We can't escape it, but there's things that we can do to manage it and to regulate our nervous system so that we're not so impacted adversely in this stressful system that we live in, okay? Okay, 1 second. My light seems to have gone off again. Let's see if I can get this sorted out. There we go. It's bright. Okay, let me get this fixed here. All right, let's put this to the side like this. Jaja. Okay. It's always some rascal mess. Okay, let's see. Okay, that seems like that's all right. Okay, let's move forward. Okay, so we did cover chronic stress and inflammation. Okay, inflammation is a huge culprit, sabotaging follicles. Okay, and there's many different reasons for inflammation. Okay, but what I find is it primarily comes from the way that people eat. Okay, inflammation causing foods. Okay, and inflammation can also come from different medications and also from underlying conditions, okay? So we definitely want to find ways to manage the inflammation. And usually when clients come in, I will start them with a detox, not just internally, but we will detox the scalp as well, okay? Before we can proceed further into any therapies or treatments, such as low-level laser therapy, we have to detox the scalp first. We have to get the inflammation down as much as possible, okay? So that the different therapies can pick up on the hair follicle, okay? So it's just the same as the body, okay? We wouldn't bring in a client who has been primarily eating processed foods and primarily been eating unhealthily and not having proper water intake. We wouldn't bring them in and automatically just start prescribing herbs to them, okay? We would first want to start a significant level of detoxing the body, okay, and cleansing the body, okay, getting the body for a reset, okay, and then we would put the new material in, okay? So it's the same with the scalp, okay? After you had years and years of unhealthy hair practices and you've battered and butchered your scalp, you have all kinds of traction alopecia from braids and weaves, okay? And too much tight pulling and tension styles, okay? And you have a whole slew of all kinds of other issues going on. We're not going to automatically just push you into treatment. We have to do a significant level of detoxing and restoring, okay? And then we start administering treatment, okay? All right, medical conditions, okay? A lot of people have underlying medical conditions, okay? Underlying health problems, okay? So by way of the diagnostics, okay, and by way of the exams and the troubleshooting questions, we will get to the bottom line of what your medical conditions are, okay, and how that's playing a part in the hair loss, okay, and discuss what may be happening, because more often than not you are on some form of medication, okay? So we have to go into all of this and find out if we can come up with alternatives and make a treatment plan that helps you to make some shifts, okay? The goal would be to get you off of the medications. A lot of times that is not a reality for a lot of people. So we want to have a treatment plan that counteracts the effects of the medications and the underlying health condition, okay? And then also genetics, okay? This is a big one. Usually in terms of hair loss and scalp disorders, it would come primarily from the XY chromosome. XY being your father's genetics, okay? So a lot of times, people who have these issues that run in their bloodline, which I see often, if we make certain shifts, if we do things different than our bloodline has done, then a lot of times we can keep a lot of these issues at bay, and a lot of times we can keep our hair on our head a lot longer, okay? So it doesn't have to be the end of the story if it is in your genetics. If caught early enough and certain shifts are made, a lot of times that can turn out very positively, okay? At the same time, if it's in your bloodline and you're already experiencing the thinning and the scalp disorders, it would also be very beneficial for you to start a new treatment plan so that you can improve the quality of your life and improve the quality of your health. And then we could discuss other options as far as hair replacement, okay? Okay, so we just did go over genetics, medications, just like I did say previously. What people need to understand about medications is medications are foreign and they are toxic to the body, okay? Medications are what I would call band-aids. So they don't, in fact, heal the issue. They just help you to manage it, okay? And in turn, they leave you with a slew of side effects. Why is this? Because medications are not compatible with the body. They are a foreign substance that you're putting in your body to band-aid a symptom or condition, okay? So as a trichologist, I would never prescribe, administer any forms of medications to you. Rather, I would supplement you with proper nutrition and plant-based herbs, okay? Because these are compatible to the body. They do not cause side effects over time. And usually you will find when you consume the herbs, which is opposite to conventional medicine, is when you consume the herbs, it usually will take care of a slew of other problems as well as the problem. Whereas medications will band-aid the problem and cause you a whole heap of other problems. So you see the difference, okay? And this is primarily because the body, the herbs are compatible with the body. The herbs communicate directly to the cells, okay? They communicate. They're the plants. We come from the earth. The herbs come from the earth. So the herbs are designed to communicate to the cells. That's why they're able to go in and nourish and sustain and heal the body without causing adverse side effects, okay? Like the medications do. You will also find that medications, usually more than often than not, the medications come from some form of natural herb or botanical. It's usually always an ingredient that is in that medication. Even medications that we see in the drugstores where you can get over the counter, okay? Such as your ibuprofens, Tylenols, whatsoever, Benadryl, all of these, and conventional medications prescribed by doctors. All of these are derivatives of some form of herb or botanical. So why would we not go directly to the root? Why would we not go directly to the root, which is much more compatible with our bodies? Okay? Okay. So we did cover medications. Scalp health. All right. So this is a big issue that I'm seeing. More often than not, what I see is that persons really just have not been educated on what to do for their unique hair. They don't know what products to use. They don't know how often they should shampoo. They don't know how often they should oil. They don't know how often they should hydrate. They don't know how often they should do conditioning treatment. So they don't know what is the best style for their unique hair to keep their fibers on their head longer and to keep their hair thriving and growing. So a lot of times people are just uninformed and miseducated on the proper way to handle their unique hair, okay? And what regimens to keep. So that's where I come in also as a trichologist, because I educate you on the proper hair care regimen to set you up for success and to achieve your healthy hair goals, okay? So I take that guesswork out of the products, because just like I did say previously, our hardwiring is scrambled. When we go in that beauty supply, we see all these different products lining the shelves and we don't know what to get. And a lot of times, a lot of us try everything, okay? So that's why simple is always best. Simple is always best. That's why I've formulated these products. I have the Soothing Scalp Formula. I have the Hair Growth Assister. I have the Deep Moisture Formula. I have the Black Aloe Lock Grooming Gel. I have a heavier oil sealant conditioner, which is the Shea Butter Infusion. This is Shea Butter 2.0, okay? Because it's an infusion of coconut oil and castor oil infused in the shea butter. So it gives you a really wonderful, powerful blend there, okay? And that's infused with different essential oils as well. And then we have the water-based moisturizer here, which is the Aloe Hydrator. And then we also have the Scalp Detoxifier. This is a formula that is comprised of bentonite clay, which is a powerful detoxifier that pulls toxins from deep under the skin, okay? Also, it's a 2-in-1 action because the bentonite clay is filled with minerals. So while it's pulling up the obstructions and toxins from deep under the skin surface, it's infusing minerals into the skin, into the follicles, which in fact is helping to build the hair fiber. Okay, so it's a very powerful product there. And then we also have anti-inflammatories in there, and then we have scalp soothers in there. Okay, and then I also have a scalp repairer in there as well. Okay, so that is a very powerful detoxifier called Fresh Follicles. Okay, and then this is our water-based moisturizer, which is Aloe Hydrator. Okay, and we always want to set our foundation of moisturizing by way of hydration, which can only come by water, and then we're going to seal it with our nourishing food conditioner sealant, which is our oil. Okay. Okay. And just like I did say previously, hair loss is often multifactorial, meaning several factors may contribute at the same time. Okay. It's very common when clients come in, they may have psoriasis and androgenetic alopecia at the same damn time. Okay. It's very possible a client will come in and have citricical alopecia and traction alopecia at the same time. Okay? It's very possible that you have more than one scalp disorder at the same time simultaneously, and it's very possible that you are experiencing different forms of alopecia at the same time. So that's where a trichologist will come in and help you to figure out what ailment you're suffering from, so that we can design a treatment plan based on those said conditions. Okay? Healthy habits that support overall hair health and scalp health include prioritizing quality sleep, okay? Eating adequate protein. Okay, so let's go back to sleep. Remember, the only time that the cells regenerate is when the body is sleeping. Okay, so if you do not get sleep over a prolonged amount of time, if you suffer from insomnia, more likely than not, you are also experiencing hair thinning and hair loss because your cells are not regenerating. So proper sleep is very important, okay, to having a balanced and healthy nervous system. Okay, eating adequate protein. Remember, we just did say earlier, the hair is fibrous protein. It's keratinized cells that stack, okay, and push past the skin surface and create the hair fiber. That hair fiber is fibrous protein, okay? So it is very important that we have in our nutrition regimen proper protein going in, okay? Because that is going to be the building blocks of our hair fibers. Staying properly hydrated, okay? The number one reason for dry hair, a lot of people feel like it's the products that they're using. A lot of people feel like it's environmental. And yes, that would be true. But the number one reason for dry hair is a dehydrated body, okay? Hydration comes from the inside out, okay? So we want to make sure that we're drinking enough water every day to hydrate our unique body, okay? Whatever that your body weight is, we want to divide that by 2 and drink that in ounces. Everybody has a different body weight and different body mass. So it's not a one size fits all of what is going to properly hydrate your body, okay? So again, whatever your body weight is, you want to divide that by 2, and you should be drinking that much water in ounces daily to keep your body mass hydrated. Once you do go down in body mass, then that would change. Once you did go up in body mass, then the ounces of water you would need to consume would change again, okay? So it's primarily based upon your body mass, how much water you need to consume daily, okay? And again, this is the number one reason for dry hair, a dehydrated body. So we want to make sure, if we want the proper moisture balance in our hair, that we're consuming enough water, okay? It's not just an external thing as far as dry hair is concerned, okay? Also staying hydrated. This is the only way that we get the circulation in our body, how we lubricate the organs in our body, how we keep everything flowing and functioning, our joints, our ligaments, all of these things. We need to stay properly hydrated. And of course, the signals, the 28 billion neurons that fire off to send signals throughout the body from the nervous system. Don't you think that it needs fluid and proper hydration to function at its best? So staying properly hydrated is very important for a regulated nervous system. Okay, managing stress, okay? All of these things are very important, like we did speak about previously. You see, I'm burning lavender incense. I'm looking at ocean waves, okay? I'm listening to soothing music, okay? All of these things and practices help to balance our nervous system. Getting adequate movement, exercise, getting adequate rest, meditation, affirmation, breathing exercises. Previously, we did speak about an exercise that you can do throughout the day, which is telling your scalp to relax, okay? And breathing in and out deeply and mindfully telling your scalp to relax until you feel the invisible bands of stress dissipate from this shoulder blade going all the way up to the neck, behind the neck, all the way up to the forehead, over the eyes, all the way down to the other shoulder blade. We hold invisible bands of stress and tension in here, okay? So this exercise, reminding your scalp to relax, mindfully telling your scalp to relax until you feel all of this tension dissipate. Scalp, relax. Scalp, relax. Doing this exercise throughout the day helps to balance your nervous system and helps to manage stress, okay? Gentle scalp care, okay? Having a healthy hair care regimen is very important, okay? A lot of times people feel like, oh, if I just get this product, if I just go and see my hairdresser once a month, I'm good to go. No. What really determines the health of your hair is what you do in between those visits. What you're using on your hair, okay? What is your regimen? What is your hair care practices, okay? Are you stimulating your scalp? Are you letting your scalp get sunlight, okay? Are you shampooing and keeping your scalp clean enough? Are you hydrating your hair? Okay, all of these different things play a part. Okay, a healthy hair care regimen is fundamental. It's not simply enough to use products and to go see a hairdresser. What you do in between that time is determines the health of your hair. Okay. Okay, your hairdresser, your trichologist, whoever you go, your cultivator, your hair cultivator, they are there to make sure that you stay on track and to, do the professional work and really go in. But the health of your hair is determined in between those visits primarily, okay? Okay, so these habits support overall wellness, which can positively influence hair health, okay? Okay, so we covered a lot of ground today. I hope that you did learn a lot from this presentation today, as we did speak about the nervous system and how it pertains to hair growth, okay? And we also want to remember that healthy hair begins with understanding the whole body, not just the hair itself. We want to make the connection between the body and the hair. Make that connection, okay? So I want to thank you. Again, this is April E. Diggs. I am the founder and owner here at Lair, Health, Trichology, Beauty, where we focus on those three areas, okay? Health, okay? I'm a naturopath of the last 7 years. I help people supplement their nutrition by way of proper nutrition and herbal supplementation, okay? And herbal alternatives, okay? And then trichology, I am a certified trichologist, so I specialize in the areas of hair loss, thinning, scalp disorders, and diseases. Certified for the last 9 years as a trichologist. And then also I am a master cosmetologist of the last 20 plus years. I have cultivated and maintained thousands of healthy locks and natural hair. Okay, I'm also a product developer. This is the Return to Anagen product line here. This is developed, these formulas are developed primarily to assist in the areas of hair loss, thinning, scalp disorders, and scalp diseases. Also for persons who have locks and for persons who have their natural free hair, okay? This is the Return to Anagen product line, okay? I did take the guesswork out of choosing products, okay? Because I saw that a lot of people's hardwiring was scrambled when they go into the beauty supplies and try to decide what to get. So simple is always best. Holistic is always best, okay? So these are natural herbs and botanicals that have been blended up, okay? Aloes, cold pressed oils, food grade essential oils, okay? Healing ingredients, powerful ingredients that are very effective, okay? And take the guesswork out of all of the products that we're bombarded with that have no efficacy, okay? Okay, so this again is, sorry, 1 second here. Okay, so again, this is April E. Diggs. I am the owner and founder here at Lair, Health, Trichology, Beauty, okay? And we cover these different areas, okay? And as a trichologist, I teach people to understand the connection between the body and the scalp, okay? And so this is Crown Conversations with Lair, okay? This is a series that I will be holding, okay, regularly, okay? So we will discuss different topics such as hair loss, scalp health, nutrition, lock education, natural hair, holistic wellness, okay? This is some of the ground that we will cover here in Crown Talks with Songs Lair, okay? Today we just did cover the nervous system, okay? I hope that you did learn a lot from the nervous system, and we can see how important the nervous system is, regulating so many different body systems, okay? The cerebrum in the brain, the cerebellum, the brain string, okay, that connects to the spinal cord, okay, and the 28 billion neurons that trigger off and signal in the body what to do every day and help the body to function in the best way, okay? And we did discuss ways to support the nervous system and ways to manage stress, okay? And we did make the connection between how the nervous system is impacting our hair and scalp, okay? So I'm just going through my notes to see if I did miss anything, okay? So we will have these discussions again. Again, this is Crown Talks with Songs Lair, where we discuss everything health, trichology, and beauty, okay? And for ones and ones who are here with me, I do encourage you to follow the page, okay? You can also book a consultation if you're in need of these services, okay? You can go to the link in my bio. And then you also want to follow so that you can stay abreast of the next educational live. And also, if you know someone who needs assistance in these areas, experiencing different issues with hair loss, thinning, any types of scalp disorders, please feel free to share this live with them, okay? Because we want to make sure that we were helping people in our community to have a better quality of life, a better health, and from this place we can have a better head of hair, okay? Growing, thriving, healthy hair, okay? Coming from a better quality of life and a better health, okay? And we want this for everyone, okay? So that is what we say here at Songs Lair. Be whole, be healed, be blessed, and be well. That is the frequency that we push out here at Songs Lair. And we use the hair and scalp as the medium, okay? Because the hair and scalp tells us so much of what is going on with the entire body, the holistic unit of the body. So we use the hair and scalp as a medium to promote healing and wellness for our people and for our community, okay? And when we help to improve the quality of people's life, we're in fact improving the quality of a better world, okay? So this work is so very important, okay? So I want to thank you for joining me today here on Crown Talks with Songs Lair. Crown Conversations, rather. Okay, this is Crown Conversations with Songs Lair. On our next live, we will be discussing hormones, okay? Today, we did discuss the nervous system and how this impacts the health of the hair. So on our next live, we will discuss hormones, okay? The body is a very intricate system, okay? And it has all kinds of different systems that make the mechanism work, okay? So we want to find out what's going on in our body that is creating said conditions and problems, okay? So when you come in to see a trichologist, the trichologist will provide you with a wealth of information. That way you are informed of what's going on, and you also will know what shifts need to be made, because you are now educated on what is the root cause and problem associated with your condition, okay? So we leave no stone unturned, okay? The body is a holistic unit, and so we deal with the healing in a holistic way, okay? So again, I thank you for joining me today with Crown Conversations. Like I did say, please feel free to follow so you can stay abreast of the next educational live, okay? And on our next live, we will be discussing hormones and how that plays a part in your hair health, okay? Again, this is the Return to Anagen product line. These products support a healthy lifestyle regimen, okay? And I made sure to put that on the bottle, okay? You can see here, very simple. We have the sun, we have the water, we have the land, we have the air. These are the different elements, okay? And then we have the frequency running through, okay? The energy, the vitality, okay? So this is return to anagen. This is return to the growth phase of the hair process. Return to vitality, okay? And I have it specifically written here on the label. These products support a healthy lifestyle regimen, okay? We cannot simply think that we can go and get a product and put it on our hair and that takes care of everything. These products support a healthy lifestyle regimen. That means that we want to have a healthy lifestyle and we want to use healthy products to support that, okay? So once again, thank you one and all for coming to Crown Conversations with Songs Lair. I look forward to seeing you again at Songs Lair, Health, Trichology, Beauty. And of course, I'm wishing everyone and pray everyone to be whole, be healed, be blessed, and be well. Okay? Until such time, bless up yourself and take good care of your health, okay? It's very important. Your health is most definitely your wealth. Okay, until we meet again, everyone have a blessed, wonderful, explicit evening, okay? More healing, more health, more wealth, more strength, more prosperity, more bliss. Yes. Jaja live. Okay, it's come like the live doesn't want me to stop going live. Hold on, let me see here.